116 Hotline. It's Sadie.
It's Valerie.
And this is Sutana. Welcome back to our podcast, 116th Hotline. We are a
trio
of
sisters.
And if this is your first time watching, I hope you stick around. We are a fun bunch. And if this is not your first time, welcome back.
Thank you so much for coming back.
And before we start off the episode, we just want to say a huge thank you to our sponsor, My Vang. She's a local realtor here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. She sponsored our new headphones, so thank you so much to you.
Thank you.
Definitely needed, and we are so excited to use these new headphones.
Yes, and if you guys are in the Tulsa, Broken Arrow, Jinx, Owasso, northeastern Oklahoma, Tulsa metro area, looking to buy, sell, or anything that related, Mai is your girl, your go-to girl. She's very knowledgeable, and she's a really good people person. I think she's so very friendly. Easy to get along with and talk to. So definitely check her out. We'll put her information.
We'll put her information right here, and then we'll also have her socials and everything else linked in our Instagram.
Yes.
So you guys can find it on the show notes.
Thank you so much, Mai.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
And now presenting our special guest for today, we have, what's your name and how do you know us?
Hello everyone, my name is Jenny Neri, and I know this lovely bunch here in association to Sutana. So thank you so much for your friendship. And we met through, I think I connected with you first through Instagram.
Yes.
And then we met in person at the Tulsa Hot Girl Walks and immediately clicked.
Yes. Yep. We met probably a year ago now, right?
Yeah, it's been a year now.
Yeah, I think it was a year ago that we met. So we've known each other for about a year. So what do you do for work?
Okay, so I am a creative entrepreneur.
Ooh.
So essentially, I am a jack of many trades.
Yes.
I have a business out here in Tulsa on 91st and Sheridan. It is a beauty spa. I specialize in body hair removal.
Love that.
And I have two girls that rent out space from me, and they also do aesthetic services like eyelashes is their main
Okay.
service.
But, okay, so you said body hair removal. So what specifically, though?
Ooh, so my bread and butter, like they call it,
Yes.
are intimate services, so Brazilians.
Brazilians. Are you a normal waxer girl or?
So I am very passionate about removing hair, just essentially because of my own experiences. Like, I know it's kind of one of those very personal things, and it's still something that's very taboo. So I, in my treatment room, try to make people very comfortable.
Love that.
And, you know, like, it's kind of sometimes takes a lot of courage for people to book an appointment.
Yeah, especially for Brazilian, because it's in a very intimate area.
I still haven't, but then I keep telling the girls that the day I do it, it's going to be with you.
Dude,
like, I'm going to.
I literally had my first Brazilian with Jenny, and I'm like, I was so nervous, and especially because it's sugaring that you specialize in.
Yes.
So I was like, oh my god, is it gonna hurt like regular waxing? But no, it was really comfortable, very conversational. I was like, I'm not even.
Yeah, I feel like sugaring is less painful.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the first time it hurts. I mean, for anything it does, but then sugaring, I feel like, is less painful.
But I feel like you said with like being comfortable, like it's not so much more of the process itself is you seeing my vajayjay. So I'm like, I mean, yeah, I know you, and I feel so much more comfortable with you now, but then at the same time, I'm like, nobody's ever seen that other than me and my man. So I'm like, but then I feel like with you now, knowing you, I do feel so comfortable that it would be like, it's nothing.
Yeah, like it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Now, people ask me all the time, they're like, so...
Like the elephant in the room.
They're like, well, you specialize in intimate areas, so pretty much like, what are your thought processes? like, what are you thinking whenever you're doing what you got to do? And I'm like, honestly, like, I'm not even thinking like I'm close in your intimate area. I'm just more so like how my what would I say, the treatment goes. Like, I make sure that it's comfortable, especially because, like I said, it takes a lot of courage for someone to book the appointment, first of all. And then whenever they come and they meet me, then, I don't just say, like, hey, grab a robe and
undress right now.
Drop them. So I get to know them a little bit better, like their lifestyle, what they do, and, like listen to them, like, what are your concerns, what are your problems, and then it makes it a little more comfortable. So then whenever they're in the treatment room, you know, when I say butterfly for me,
you're like, all right, now lift your legs up. And then I did it, and then Jenny's like, more. And I'm like, okay.
Like knees to chest, knees to chest.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. She's like, or can you hold that right there? And I'm like,
so many questions.
Lord. I'm like,
yeah, no, it's a teamwork effort.
Yes, it is.
And I almost sometimes feel like a gynecologist, which I'm
Dude,
not.
for real though, it's like, I mean, you're in the same area, so I think obviously the questions they have for gynecologists is kind of the same because you're looking at the same thing all the time.
Yeah,
almost. Yeah.
So, do you wax men?
So I have a lot of stories about that. I did. So whenever I started, I wanted to be like very inclusive.
Yeah.
Especially because I feel like, again, hair removal is kind of like a taboo subject. Like everybody has a problem, but nobody really talks about it.
Yeah.
And I did take some male clients, but it got weird really quick.
Yeah, because I noticed like a lot of places that like I go to or used to go to, it would always say like Brazilians, female only, like female only. So I've always thought like, I wonder why is that.
Well, you know, I follow this tattoo artist, the one that I was telling you guys about, the fine line.
I saw her story.
Yeah, and so I guess she does fine line tattoos in Tulsa, and she also came upon like the same scenario where she was wanting to be inclusive because it's fine line tattoos, right? Some guys want it, and she said it got really weird quick too, and so she's just like women only because, you know, you don't feel safe in your own space, and that's your bubble, and you know, it just, you never know.
That was the biggest thing. Like, it's so funny how things, well, it's not funny, but things literally happen like back to back. So I had like several male clients for a period of time. And for like the conversations, they were, you know, they made it through the next step where I allowed them into my space. And then after like a second appointment or a third appointment, they were really like pushing to like, it was just really
That
awkward.
is so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I even had to think about like, I'm like, do I even want to take this client again? Like, even thinking about like what I'm wearing, and you guys know how I dress. Like, I literally would just be like wearing this, and I'm like, oh, is my bra showing? Like, it was just
You don't feel safe. Like, you know,
You're just creeps out
it was
there.
not a comfortable thing. And I actually do want to bring this up because, let me share with, you know, everyone that's kind of involved, especially in the Tulsa area. So being a small business in the beauty industry, last year I actually had the unfortunate event to meet this guy that has been scamming small business owners.
Oh my goodness.
He's been doing it for at least 3+ years.
Oh crap.
Oh my god.
So this guy, he goes by the name, well, his real name is, all right, so this individual, like I mentioned, last year he booked an appointment with me, but it was through text. And the way that he played it off was he was saying that he got my number through one of the girls at the spa. And a lot of my friends, they do that. They send me referrals. So he was posing as a woman, saying that he needed a vajacial. So
Okay, first red flag.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Who the fuck even says vajacial?
I know.
Vajacial.
I'm
Do
just like,
people use that word?
Yeah, vajacial.
Yeah.
Oh, it
it's
is an
official
actual-
for your vagina.
Oh, that's. I
Yeah.
think that's a term for it.
Yeah, it's a term.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I
vajacial.
thought it was just like a
Made up
he
thing.
made it up or something. I was like, okay, that's fucking weird. Okay.
No, it's a term for a facial for
Wanting
your
to
intimate
get-
area.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that day I remember I was like really busy, and I'm like, okay, I can squeeze one more person in. And you know, I asked a few questions like, when was the last time that you got a wax? And then I got an answer. But you know, I didn't really have a lot of time to like do my normally filter
Like
through
vet.
to be able to like see, like I'll look up a person on Facebook or on Instagram or kind of like know who they
Do
are.
a research. A quick
Yeah.
bit of research.
Yeah, so I didn't have time. And I remember I had got done with one of my clients, and I was getting the room ready for the next client. And normally at the spa, we always make sure that the door is locked just because of, you know, extra precaution and, as, you know, we're performing services. And it's by appointment only. So I didn't have the door locked because it was just a busy day. And the door, you know, like goes off, and I turn around and I have this like smell, and like he smells like really good, and he's a handsome guy. He was like tall, dark, tanned, you know, and I'm like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm here to see Jenny. And I'm like, oh, well, that's me, you know? And I immediately like clicked. I'm like, are you here for the ingrown treatment? Because I didn't want to say vajacial because I'm like, well, you don't look like, you know, I can't.
Right.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
So I got to talking to him and, you know, I was like, hey, what are your concerns? What are your problems? And then he told me that he just was having like really bad ingrowns because he got a wax at their European Wax Center. And in the industry, the European Wax Center, it's kind of like the fast food chain of, you know, waxes. Like they want to get you in and out. Like that's really kind of what it is. So it's really easy to get like a bad wax job because they could break your hair. And that's whenever ingrowns happen. So, you know, I was like, okay, like things are kind of like coming, like they're matching up to what he's saying. But I asked him again, like, when was the last time that you got waxed? He's like, oh, like a few days ago. And I'm like, you're already having problems? So the only way that I can treat someone is by taking like a look.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, if you want to go ahead and grab the robe and then I'll meet you in the treatment room. And things were fine. Like it wasn't like, I didn't feel uncomfortable. But then, you know, like some of the conversations that we were having were just like, they felt like social security questions, like what's your name, how old are you, like where are you from, like how many siblings do you have, and things like that. And I was like answering them because I didn't feel uncomfortable at the time, and I was asking him those same questions too. And he told me he was like a general manager at a Mexican restaurant, and he's around our age. So yeah.
Sadie, do you know this guy?
I don't know.
I'm thinking,
when he shows, if she shows me the picture, I can confirm it.
Because I'm thinking like Owasso.
No, what she told me was last time, and she showed her picture as the picture, and I didn't recognize him.
Yeah. So that happened. I went ahead and shared with the people in my industry, and had a lot of feedbacks that this guy had been doing it for a while.
Specifically in your industry.
So were you able to, like, did you have to wax him? I mean, like...
Oh, do the ingrown treatment? Yeah. So I did treat him, and things were fine. Like, he was messed up. Oh, they did mess him up.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Like, he was messed up. It looked like he had been picking at the ingrowns. It was just not a good situation for him. So he did need help.
Okay.
But then he was, like, wanting to get another treatment, so we booked for a next treatment. But whenever it came to the payment time, he was like, hey, can I pay you through Cash App? I was like, okay, that's fine. He pulled up his phone, had me type in my business name. And then I was like, okay, you know, like, have a good day, yada, yada. And then he leaves. I sit back, I look at the transaction, and there's nothing there. So I texted him. I was like, hey, you must have forgot to hit send. Could you please send it? He's like, oh, I'm traffic right now. And I'm like immediately, like, my gut just like something's wrong.
Oh shoot!
And then
you just knew.
I just knew. Like I had a client afterwards, and then I was like, I'm gonna call this guy.
Yeah,
like, I need to get my money.
Shit, yes, time is money.
Yeah. So I called him. He didn't answer, but he messaged me. He's like, hey, like I'm having problems with my Cash App, and I'm just like,
that's when you know it's like.
I'm just like, no, I don't think so. And I immediately, like I said, I shared with my beauty colleagues, and I got that response that he has been like scamming people and doing this for some time, and they suggested me to like threaten legal action towards him. So you know, I told him, I addressed him by his real name, like, hey, I know who you are. And then he was just like, oh, like I was gonna go pay you, but I was gonna pay you in cash. And I'm like, I don't want to see this guy, like no. So he had the audacity to try to book an appointment with me again just last month.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just last month. And he booked this time with like a nickname like Jay Brown. So I mean,
but was still like an identifier.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's him.
So I was like, you know what? I'm like, I think it is the same guy. So I'm just like, hey, due to the last time, like, I'm gonna need a payment up front. But then in my head, I'm just like, why am I even giving this guy a chance again? I'm like, no. So I texted him again. I'm like, hey, I don't feel comfortable. I'm like, you know, best of luck to you. But I decided again to share with my business colleagues, and more people came out of the woodwork saying the experiences that they've had with him.
That is horrible.
The fact that he's still going at it, and to go back with you, I do have a question about that. Do you have any like policies with your bookings, like any like deposits? Because you do?
With my, like right now, the way that I'm running my business, it's been like very intentional, right? So the people that are my clients, like they pay afterwards.
Okay.
But they're kind of gone through like a
vetting process. So did you ever get your money back from him or no?
Yeah, he did end up paying.
Good, as he freaking should.
He did end up paying, but I had to threaten legal like
what
3 times. Like,
oh my god!
Shoot.
I was just like, hey, this is the last warning that you're getting, and then I'm gonna be pressing.
For real.
That is horrible.
So Jenny, besides sugaring, what do you like to do like in your free time?
Ooh, I like to do a lot of things. I actually have to stop myself from by creating new hobbies.
And maybe that's why we get along so well.
Literally,
I'm literally like that. I do everything all the time with anyone, and the girls are like, dude, you are busy because you freaking make yourself busy. I'm like, but I have to, but I just
need to.
I need to get it out of my system.
Yes, one of the recent ventures that I have taken on is pottery, ceramics.
Dude,
Fun.
I've always wanted to do that.
That sounds so fun.
Very therapeutic.
it's very New York.
Yeah, I'm just like, there's a lot of places, or there was a place here in Tulsa that does pottery classes. I don't know if they still do it.
There's a Victory Church that I keep seeing on my Facebook. Maybe it's meant to be, but they do offer like courses of like a period of time. So it's like I think it's like 10 classes or something like that, and you pay amount. And you go like every Thursday.
Yeah,
and
no,
it's like you do a project from start to finish.
So it's like you progress each time you go. That's so cool.
So cool, so much fun. It's been very therapeutic. So that's something that I recently have done, but I have always been like very creative, very like hands-on crafty. So some of the other things that I do is like content creation, photography. One of my friends, she has become a plant influencer.
I could totally see you doing that because you love plants,
like real plants.
You're she's a plant girl. That's why I was telling Rachel, like I wanted Rachel to connect with you because she is like a plant lover.
Is she?
Yes, like that's why I was telling her you need to talk to Jenny because Jenny is also a plant girl.
I love plants, yeah, and you know how I talked today a little bit about like referring to myself as a plant and just like pouring that love and all those nutrients into myself.
Yes.
So, for future events, that plants will be involved.
That's so cute.
And the event that Jenny's talking about, we today had a vision board / intentional planning. That's what we called it. Intentional planning event. And it was hosted by us, 116 Hotline, and Ms. Jenny Nerinudeskin. You did a great job as always, and I really want to just like put it on record that it's really refreshing to find people that share similar interests and also have the same mindset as you in life, because I feel like it's so hard when you're in adulthood, and we've talked about this before in the podcast. It's hard when you're an adult trying to find people that fit in the same type of realm that you're in. Also, I think adjusting to finding women friends in general is very, very hard. And then, just being you yourself, I feel like you give off that energy, that radiate that energy that
genuine.
I feel like we are all on, like, just like freshness and then like welcoming and just being open to creating a space where we can have other women also feel the same. So like, you're awesome. I love you. And you did a great job today being the, what is it? Facilitator.
Yeah.
You did great.
And I agree with Satana. Like, for me, I feel like now as an adult, sometimes like I know we've been preaching like finding new girls and new friends and new open space and safe space, but a lot of times some people are not as genuine, and I feel like you're one of those few that I could just tell that you are genuine with what you do in your craft and what you preach. And that's why we like gravitated towards you ever since the beginning when I met you through Satana at Hot Girl Walks. I'm like, I like this girl every time, and it's so funny because we always call you Nerinudeskin too. Like,
literally when we talk about you, we're like, Nerinudeskin.
You guys are so sweet, honestly. Like, we have a lot of heart-to-heart conversations.
We do.
And really do have, like, we have created that space for one another. But just on the topic of, like, finding people that genuinely believe in you. Like, I was sharing today with Joanne, I had a chance today to actually talk a little bit more about her. And, she's very inspired by all of us as far as what we do. And that's always encouraging to always like hear those words, because sometimes you may not feel like, oh, I could be doing more, right?
Right.
But I told her, I'm just like, I'm like, the ideas that you have, I'm like, act on them and do them how you envision them. Like, it's good to have backboard sounds, like get opinions or whatever, like from your loved ones. And I'm like, but you need to build what you envision, and the right people will fit.
Yeah,
that's what I tell her all the time, and I tell it to anyone who is like, I tell it to anyone who is trying to start something or want to start something. So you said something today that really was, I think, eye-opening for a lot of us.
Oh my God, is it what I think it is?
When you were talking about the disrespect thing. I was like, okay, when you said like, I had these things set for myself, but then I'm disrespecting myself by not following through, like, wanting to get up early and then turning off the alarm. That was literally
eye-opening.
So eye-opening, because I'm like, that's so true. You want to do all these things for other people, but why do we always put ourselves last? Or, we always think about, okay, I want to make sure that this person isn't disappointed, so I'm going to do what I promised them I'm going to do. And then in the end, you're not even doing it for yourself, and you're always putting yourself on the back burner. So what do you think? I mean, how do you going forward in 2024, how do you think you're going to change that up?
Okay,
so you're not disrespecting yourself.
Good. Okay, so literally, as we're already 2 weeks in to the year, right? And like I mentioned, one of my words for this year is accountability.
Yeah.
And like 2023, Jenny, she's still there, like, along with all these versions of myself that I have been. So I'm just trying to really be intentional and really like,
I think giving yourself grace too.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for 2023 Jenny, 2024 Jenny wouldn't be possible.
2024 Jenny, she's gonna be like, girl, like, get it together
now.
The way that I have lived my life is just, I feel like I have a very peaceful life.
You do. I mean, like, you're zen. You don't have like, I've never seen you like super mad or anything. I just feel like you're really, really chill.
Yeah.
And like put together and just peace.
Yeah.
You're peaceful.
Yeah, I like my peace.
And you give off that energy too. Like you give off like that aura of just being a peaceful person.
I feel like Jenny would really get along with Leslie. Like,
yes.
Hi, Leslie.
Leslie is Sadie's friend for years.
Yes.
Like many, many moons. And she is in the Army, and she kind of has the same aura like you. Very zen, very peaceful. That's the type of people we keep around.
Yes.
We
we gravitate towards those people too.
Sure.
Because,
And it has, I feel like I have always, for the most part, been this way, but I just am not one that, I don't take things personally, and I think that
I need to work on that. Please give us tips.
I need to work on that.
I think it's I'm trying to get to that point where I don't take things personally, but it's hard.
Okay,
It's hard when you've been doing it for, I mean, like, obviously for my whole life, but it's like, you try really hard not to, and then some things are just like a trigger. You're just like, oh,
yeah,
shit.
for sure. I think one of the things that has helped me get to that point where I don't take things personally is, this is probably for my therapist too, but but she just told me, like, people are so wrapped up in their own world. Like, it's usually never about you, and it's more so about them. Like, I love people talking nice to me. I love people loving on me. Like,
You do really good at that.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I'm just like, you know what? I'm like, I want all the good things because I am worthy and I deserve all those things. So
I think it's important to put that energy out there.
Because then you attract the same people that are actually intentional.
We had to take a quick break because actually Valerie has not slept all day, and we just had an event, and then we're doing the podcast back to back. So we're gonna give her time to rest.
Yes.
But we will resume our convo with Jenny because the show has to go on.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. But everyone needs their rest, and that is well deserved. But yeah, Jenny, I love you and I appreciate you, and I really wanted to just tell you that the other day because I was, I think it's important to let the people in your lives, like, how much you actually value them. especially you. I feel like you really reciprocate the energy that we bring, and I'm like, on a personal level, I really, really admire you, the way you carry yourself and the way you just move through life gracefully. I'm just like, I need that piece.
Yeah.
Like, I need to
balance.
be on that level. And yeah, I just wanted to tell you that I love you and I appreciate you, and you're literally like my inner circle.
Thank you. No, I appreciate you so much. Like, I feel like sometimes, and I don't feel bad about it, because I do love to express to my loved ones, like, hey, I'm thinking of you. I'm thankful for you. Like, I really am truly so thankful. And just to have met you and be the way that we are.
I know. You're literally like a sis. Literally.
Seriously, yeah.
Literally.
I feel like the way how you're saying, you feel like you can almost trust her with your life now, you know, because you've just built that bond with each other. And I mean, obviously, you know, a lot of our friends, like through Satana, between Satana, Valerie, and I, like with other outer friends, we stick to them, and we can just like feel the, like I said, you could feel the genuineness from you, you know. So I mean, I met you through her, obviously, and now I'm like, I consider you, and you know, we're each other on Instagram too, and every time I see you, I just feel like I feel soft on the inside, because I was like, I know she's a genuine girl. So
yeah, that
so happy
positive
to
energy,
positive, yes,
much needed. We need to spread more kindness.
Absolutely.
The world needs to be a better place.
Yeah, that's what I think about. I know it's like some of the conversations that I had with a lot of the girls here is just talking about how life, as you get older, it almost makes you want to like back away and like like not trust people. Right? That's like the number one thing that I hear whenever I talk to people is just like, you know, I really don't trust people, or like I'm just kind of like to myself.
How old are you?
I'm 30. Yeah.
Oh, you're 30?
30, girl. 30, flirty, and thriving.
Oh, so you're like barely a little bit older. Okay, so we're all around the same age.
We are.
Okay, that's crazy, because the way how you are, I thought you were older, like, because you're. I feel like you're so wise.
I
so wise.
Right?
Yes, wise.
And like, she's so calm. Again, with the calm and peaceful, because that's literally Jenny in a nutshell. I'm just like, when I think of Jenny, I'm just like, yep, calm, peaceful, put together. I need to get.
Well, to add to what you just said, I really, really feel that within myself, like within the past few years, because growing up, I've always been a crazy social butterfly, right? Like, I grew up like, I could go to any event and make friends with anybody, because I'm so social. I'm just so social, and like I said, I talk so fast. Even right now, I'm calming myself. I'm like, let me, you know, slow it down, because I do talk so fast. Because like I said, I just like to share a lot, and never really had the chance to, I guess. So growing up as a teenage to my adolescence years, I've been social with anybody and everyone. Like, if there's anything open and I hear from a friend, like, hey, let's go here, I'm like, okay, I'm down for everything, right? But now in the past few years, I've really learned to, like, I don't know, I don't really like people like that. Like, I feel like you said, with the whole protecting your inner peace and just your energy, because
you have to.
It takes so much energy just to be so social.
Yes.
And I think it's definitely drained me.
Yeah.
Now that I'm getting older too, I'm actually turning 29 in a few weeks. Ugh. But
hey, my 29th birthday was probably like one of the best, but just again, like, I set the intentions. I'm like, okay, I'm like, all right, this is the last year of your 20s. I'm like, literally do like do
what you wanted to do.
What you want to do.
Get it done.
I gotta start
excited for you.
That. Thank you. I seriously forgot about that until my sister-in-law asked me. She's like, are you gonna do anything for your birthday this year? And like, in the past few years, again, connecting it with my socialness, I've always kind of, you know, celebrated kind of big, do some kind of dinner, and then we go out and I get like crazy drunk or whatever, but I still have a good time, right? But then this year I was like, without even thinking about it being my last year in my 20s, I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna just like quick dinner or something. So then my sister-in-law said, but Sadie, it's your last year in your 20s. I'm like, oh. And then it hit me. I was like, it is my last year in my 20s. So like you said, the word intentional, I love it, because crazy enough, at our, like, I'm a teacher, our principal for our school, our word for the year is also intentional.
Is it really?
To be intentional.
Wow.
So it comes in like full circle.
Elementary.
I'm telling you, like, they want us to be intentional with, you know, our teaching just in general, and then now I'm connecting it with my personal life as well. So when you brought that word up earlier, I was like, oh,
there it is again.
There it is again. I'm like, it's like literally coming in full circle, you know. So I really appreciate that.
I'm just really excited for 2024. I think it's a really great year for growth for all of us. I just feel like this year we're doing it.
I mean, even as far as like our friendship and like what the intentions that we're setting for our community. Because we talk a lot about that, you know, like me being Hispanic, Mexican.
Yes.
You know, all the things that you're doing for your culture and your community. Like we talk a lot about like the similarities that we have that are just like being immigrants.
Literally similar. I love that. That's why I always tell Jenny, I'm like, we are more alike than we actually think. Like,
absolutely.
You know, it's
we could relate on a lot on a lot of levels, being immigrants and children of immigrants.
Yeah, and I think we just need to combine together. And I think like even events like today, you know, having people step out of their comfort zone.
There was quite a few that you could tell.
There was a lot that was like, oh, but then I think once they got into it, they like realized like it's a safe space. Like it's okay. You can,
you know what I realized too, because like for example, May and the Clarissa and the other two girls, at first they were like, I'm kind of shy.
I know they don't want to sit down.
What I caught on is that once they kept talking, and then like it's just more like a lot more personal things came out, and I was like, ooh, like that's when you can tell that they felt safe or comfortable for sure, like for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really beautiful just to see everybody and, you know, just be really thankful for the event. That's why, like, again, being intentional with mixing people up.
Yes,
when you did that, I was kind of like worried at first because I'm like, what if they don't want to mingle and what if they aren't comfortable? But then, you know, I think the initial walking to the table was kind of like, but then once they sat down, it was like, okay, like this is what we're gonna do.
I love that idea amazing. So much. I love it. I didn't even think of it. I was just like, hey, let's put these two friends together. And then when you mentioned that, well, the idea is too, I'm like, oh, again, intentional, like literally. I just everything. I just love it.
I really hope that, and honestly, just to think that people took time out of their day, out of their personal life to come sit with us for a couple hours, and you know, plan this next quarter of their lives. I think just really speaks to me like, wow, they actually a space like this is like we did that, and a space like this is definitely needed, especially for our communities. And I think just putting them together was really cool.
Yeah, and I think what's really great about you know, what we're doing is we're not being exclusive.
No,
we're being inclusive to everybody.
Exactly.
And just spreading the kindness and the welcome, the safe space. Like,
I know.
I just want to love on everybody.
I know. And I think, you know, going back to what you said, like, you know, attracting people that is on the same level as you, like truly, if they wanted to, they would.
Yes.
If they wanted to, they would. And that's how I felt about today's event. I'm like,
every single one that signed up.
Everyone can be like, oh, well, I wanted to go to your event. Like, you guys never invite. Well, you know, unless you're actually putting your own effort to come, then you're never ever going to see what it's like.
Yeah.
You know, so I really appreciate, and I just feel like today was just, oh my God, so fulfilling. And I was like stressing about it. And honestly, my social battery was not there today, but I was like, you know what? These people are taking their time to come out here. Like, let's show them what we're all about, you know?
Absolutely.
So it was really fulfilling.
Thank you, everyone that came.
Huge shout out to everybody who did come. You guys, I hope you guys all had fun. I know a lot of the girls said they did have fun. We're in this beautiful space.
Thank you to
Noxon. Yeah, Noxon Studios.
I love this.
They are, it's a cute space. It's a studio in Sand Springs. So if you're in the Tulsa metro area, you need like an event, a small event space. We probably have it about 15 people here today. Yeah, 15. But it's a really small space that's, you know, has more a lot of personality.
I feel like for more intimate events.
Yeah, so you can just hit them up on Instagram. I don't know if they have Facebook, but they have Instagram, and it's Noxon Studio. But yeah, you guys should check it out. It's a really cute space. Obviously, why we're filming here now, making use out of the space.
One thing that I was thinking about our event as well was how present everyone was in the activities that we did.
And honestly, I think you just asking everyone to be present we also did meditation. Dude, you need to do more.
You really do.
Dude,
you really do.
You did such a great job at guiding the meditation. I was literally like, wow, I'm literally vibing. I was like, we needed, I feel like it needed to be a little bit longer, but I was like,
I know. I went 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Was it supposed to be 5?
Yeah, it was supposed to be 5.
It was 10 minutes?
We meditated for 10 minutes.
Dude, it was so like healing. I was like, yes. I was like,
I really really liked it. I really did.
And then like, you know, some people got emotional and I was like, shut
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I almost did. Because it reminded me of the soul thing too, like we did. You know, you see, I'm a person that I'm not very sentimental and not very like, I guess, not in the way where I'm touchy-feely, but not in tune with myself. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. I was never really in tune with myself.
Self-aware?
Not self-aware, but in tune with myself as in like
what your needs are.
I want to say more in like a you know how I told you that I want to be more like soft girl, feminine air.
Yes.
Because I'm feminine. I have never really been in tune with my feminine side. That's what it is. Okay. So like the very first time, whenever we did this little thing with Julie, the healing thing, where so it was very similar to what you did, but it was like deeper. And a few of the first things she asked us to do was just hold yourself, hug yourself, and I was like, okay, like I'm uncomfortable, and like you said earlier, referring to back what you said earlier, like uncomfortable, like wasn't that during the meditation too? Yes. So see, I'm just always connecting everything. I love it.
Everything goes all the way through.
Literally.
Like I literally felt uncomfortable because I've never really like done that to myself, you know, and like just really listening to myself and just loving on myself like that before. So the very first time we did that with that Julie girl, with Miss Julie, I was like, this is weird. But then as we go on, like I start opening up more, and I'm like, that's why I was in shambles afterwards. So I was like, oh my God, this is so great. So earlier when you did it, I was like, ooh, like I was like I felt more comfortable this time. And when you were saying that, I'm like, I'm literally like just going and hugging myself, not just forcing myself to hug myself.
When you said that, I was like, oh my God, when was the last time I hugged myself?
Yes.
You know, dude, you should do more. Like you should. Like your voice is so soft.
Your voice.
So like when you're like
so calming,
close your eyes and just be present.
You're like, just breathe. Like, oh I was like, yes, girl, I can listen to you. I can listen to you talk all day.
Dude, for real, you did really good. You should like be a meditation.
No, thank you guys. After, you know, you let me know, you're like, have you done this before? And I'm like, no, this is my first one.
What? That's crazy.
Girl, you did so
You're
good.
a natural.
I meditate when I can remember.
When you can, yeah.
But yeah, you did really good.
Thank you. Yeah, I really, that was one of my like I have probably a whole bucket list of things that I want to do in this lifetime.
That's another hobby.
I don't need another hobby. But, you know, I'm like, you know, I'm going to do a guided meditation. And
I think everybody wasn't expecting that because everybody didn't know what we were going to do.
Right.
Like, I think to that extent. But I think everybody enjoyed it.
They did.
Like, genuinely enjoyed it. Like, they're like,
and things just kind of flowed naturally. Because, you know, I just told them, bring your cushion. And they're like, are we forming a circle? I'm like, I'm rolling with it.
I liked the circle.
I love that too. Because, like you said,
everybody just went with the flow.
They went with it because everything, like all the energy started gravitating towards each other. Like, I think that's a prime example of all of us.
Did you record
great? Yes, I did.
You did?
I did.
Stop. I know. Thank you so much.
You did.
Dude, I was like so like lost in the sauce that I was just like trying to get everything that I was like, okay, Jenny put up her phone. I was like, we're good.
I love that. Okay, I'm so glad you captured that.
Yes.
Because like I said, that was a prime example of just this, 15 women with the same energy wanting to like be intentional in a little safe space, and that's why they decided to form a circle. Because what did you have in mind? I
was just thinking like
spread out,
get in rows or whatever,
like yoga or something.
The circle thing was
the circle thing,
beautiful.
I really like that.
I was like, okay,
let's go with it.
I know,
embraced each other.
I really like the table hug that was needed.
It was so good.
I'm really proud of us. We did a really good job.
No,
like truly.
I know we inspire a lot of people.
Dude, for real.
We do.
Right?
No, for real.
And I think the best thing that I always like, the way that I view myself and like my friendships, the women that are in my life, like they tell me like, damn, like you do a lot. You do this and that. And I'm like, yeah, you can too.
Yeah. Right. Dude, for real. I feel that 100%. Especially me, because they're like even Mayan earlier, she's like, you know, I'm thinking about doing this and doing that, but you know, I don't know where to start, you know, and I know you know everyone, and I'm like, hey, well, you know, it's easy. I have my fingers in everywhere, but you can literally do it. You're the first step. You're the one that's stopping yourself from doing it.
Yes.
So you can definitely do it too.
I know. I think it's just like, it's easy. I think it's easy, you know, like there's a lot of perceptions that people may have of you, especially whenever it comes to online, like, and that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But really, it's like, if you have an idea, I would say do it. you're gonna be uncomfortable too, because it's something that you haven't done before. But in the uncomfort, that's really where the magic
grow
happens.
the most.
Yeah.
And you learn. Yes.
Like I like this saying I've been seeing on TikTok. It's like, you have to also be kind to yourself if you are uncomfortable, because guess what? It's your first time living life. It's your first time living life. So we're all just moving through the best way we know how, and that's maybe
How you learn.
Absolutely.
I mean, you have to go through the uncomfortable
in order to learn.
You're gonna fail too. A lot of times.
A lot.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Jinx, you owe me
absolutely.
soda.
So we've been doing this new round with our guests. It's called Quick Questions, and it's like you have to like say the first thing that comes to your top of your head. Okay. So
I gotta think of it. Okay.
do you want to start?
Yeah. Okay. And go. Sweet or savory?
Ooh, savory. Surprisingly.
Okay, barbecue sauce or buffalo sauce?
Ooh, barbecue.
Ooh, okay.
Spicy or savory?
Savory.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
Okay, Tex-Mex or authentic?
Authentic.
Thank you.
I'm Mexican.
Thank you.
Hello.
You are Mexican, huh?
I'm offended.
First question that came to my mind.
Sweats or jeans?
Ooh, jeans.
Okay.
Ice cream or cake?
Ooh.
Cake.
Oh yeah, you're a cake girly.
West Coast or East Coast?
Dude, sometimes I can't even tell which one's which. I'm gonna say East Coast.
Okay.
Um,
Rom-coms or comedy?
Comedy.
Okay,
Make me laugh.
Comedy.
romance or comedy?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with comedy.
Oh, I thought you would say romance.
As always, we upload every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We did change that for the new year. So Monday, 7 p.m. Don't forget. You can follow us at 116th Hotline on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Anchor, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts at 116th Hotline. And you can find Jenny, a.k.a. Nerinudeskin on Instagram. You have
TikTok?
Facebook? Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We'll put it right here. Make sure you give her a follow, y'all, okay? Because she is amazing. And if you are a woman in the Tulsa area needing sugaring services, hit your girl up. She's really, really good. She knows what she's talking about.
You are always currently taking new clients, right?
No.
You're not right now? Okay.
So I am being intentional with my clients. No, so honestly, just because I do have a lot of things that are going on.
Yeah.
I did open up some new slots for clients, but they're very particular. As far as the clients that I'm looking for is someone that's wanting long-term results.
Ooh,
Okay.
love that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love that for
long-term results, and they're interested in a more natural way to remove their hair, so sugaring. What I specialize in.
You heard the girl.
There you go.
If you fit, then you hit her up. If not, don't hit her up.
I can put you on the waiting list.
Oh, okay, there's a waiting list.
There's a waiting list.
See, hey, that's how you know she popping. She got a waiting list. Yeah. As she should. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching / listening. I hope you guys give this episode a rating, like, comment, subscribe, and also don't forget to rate our episode or don't forget to rate our podcast in general. You can rate our podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Those ratings really, really help us push out our podcast to people who also have the similar listening interests just like you. So don't forget to do that. And thank you so much, Jenny.
Thank you guys
for having us.
This was amazing. Long overdue.
Yeah, very long overdue.
For sure.
I also just want to throw it out there again to listeners. Please send us more questions. If you're curious about anything, we will be more than happy. And like I said, I still haven't gotten the challenge yet. I challenge you guys to ask us something spicy, something out of the box.
Because we do get requests, but sometimes it's for
a lot of repetitive almost.
And we want something out of the box. You know?
You can ask us something too, girl.
Yeah, submit a...
I'm just like,
send us a DM.
Spicy.
Something spicy, something even if it's considered...
Something fresh.
Oh, I was going to say...
Controversial.
Yes.
Hey, we'll do controversial.
Hey, we sure will.
All right, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.